It is good to be here together. Our service this morning is an annual tradition, a time of reflection on the year past, leading into a ritual space where we let go of some things and hold on to others. We call it the burning service because we send the things we're willing to let go of up in smoke, literally. So you all should have a little white piece of paper and a little yellow piece of paper, and a writing utensil. Did everybody get those three things when you came in? Anybody need? The new year offers us an invitation to turn and to reflect, to start fresh. This morning, we're going to accept this gracious invitation. These are the words of my colleague and dear friend, the Reverend Amy Bowden-Friedman. Once more, the earth has turned toward the light of the sun. As we are bathed in the light of a new day, so may we greet the dawning of fresh possibility. Once more, we awaken from our slumber as our bodies rise to meet the challenges and pleasures of living. So may our hearts and minds open with promise. Once more, we gather for worship. As we join our voices in word and song, so may this assembly bring forth wholeness. Come, let us worship together.
The trees are all there, not wholly to be seen, and the now winter is come, and is cold for man and beast, and the streams they are
I don't know about you, but my life feels very full most of the time. I'm always struggling to keep from feeling overstimulated. There's so much to learn, so many people to pay attention to, ideas and stories, sound bites coming at us one after another, news stories, social media, television, radio news programs. How many people listen to NPR? Conversations, emails. It's like drinking from a fire hose. If this being human is a guest house, the doorbell is pretty much constantly ringing. With all of the external noise, it takes an act of will to carve out the space and time to be still, to focus not on what's going on out there in the world, but on what's going on within. Is our inner landscape becoming cluttered or dusty? Is it full of things we'd actually prefer not to share headspace with? One source of clutter is the constant stream of have-tos, our to-do list, other people's expectations, the never-ending necessaries like laundry, bills, dishes. I have days where I'm like, oh my God, do I have to eat again? They can overwhelm us if we let them pile up. So while we have to keep on keeping on, let's remember some other have-tos that we could add to our list. We have to slow down. We have to breathe. We have to rest. And we have to be gentle with ourselves. Sometimes old hurts are like big messes in our soul home. I'd never deny that people do thoughtless and careless and sometimes even mean things to each other, but we also can't deny that there's a human tendency to take things personally when they're not meant that way. If we have enough chips on our shoulder, our heart gets weighed down and we find ourselves trapped under the load. Sometimes sorrow comes knocking and then settles into stay. Sometimes the pain is so bad that we use addictions to distance ourselves from it. That's kind of like sweeping the dirt under the carpet or hiding the clutter in a closet. Eventually, you know you're going to have to deal with it. In Japan, it's customary to spend the week before New Year cleaning the house, sweeping all the evil spirits out of the corners, nooks, and crannies. All debts must be paid, and all disagreements must be resolved or forgiven. Now, we don't have a week, but my hope is that the time we spend together this morning will allow us to clean our psyche, check out some of those nooks and crannies, identify any lingering resentments, fears, or feelings, and brush them gently away so that we can begin the new year unencumbered. As we mentally review the last year, we can choose what memories and lessons to keep and what detritus we might be ready to let go of. The idea is to take this opportunity to bring ourselves, our actions, our ideas, perceptions, and experiences more into sync with who we want to be. We're not changing any facts. We're not getting rid of any experiences we've had. We're simply choosing to start again, to shift our perception of what has been and what could be. We're integrating our experiences, finding a place for them, and we're mindfully choosing the thoughts, patterns, and ways of being we wish to place at the center of who we are. We might be ready to put away plans that didn't come to fruition. We might be ready to forgive ourselves for the mistakes we think we made. We might need to let go of guilt or regrets and embrace what is. We might need to forgive the people who accidentally trod on our toes so that our anger and our hurt can dissipate. We might want to open the window and let our hero complexes or martyr complex float on off. We might be ready to check out our need to please others or to put our desire to conform to society's expectations into the recycling bin. This is Burning the Old Year by Naomi Shihab Nye. Letters swallow themselves in seconds. Notes, friends tied to the doorknob, transparent scarlet paper, sizzle like moth wings, marry the air. So much of any year is flammable. Lists of vegetables, partial poems, orange swirling flame of days, so little is a stone. When there was something and suddenly isn't, and absence shouts, celebrates, leaves a space, I begin again with the smallest numbers. Quick dance, shuffle of losses and leaves, only the things I didn't do crackle after the blazing dies. That's the end of the poem. Inner peace comes to us as we cultivate the ability to quiet the internal conflicts that keep us from living authentic lives. We have to learn what it takes for us to stay centered and mindful as opposed to scattered or spread too thin. We give ourselves permission to say no to some things so that we can say yes to the things that give us energy and life. We quiet the internal voices that criticize, distract, and even destroy so that we can hear the true voice of our intuition. We breathe. We choose to be here now. We breathe and give ourselves this gift, the gift of a fresh start.